Alrighty, folks, we're going to get started, so take a seat. That's the biggest picture of me. I just had to. I actually wanted to give the illusion. See, we have this. We have a camera here for future, so I wanted this illusion that we're in this big, massive audience, or for anybody who's having eyesight issues in the back can see me. My name is Toby Richards. I represent Microsoft Services Organization. So this is the organization that provides customer and partner support, not only for partners, but also for enterprise customers, all the way down to consumers of Xbox. And maybe we have helped you solve issues related to Windows or OneDrive, or helped your mom with figuring out how to use the mouse. Anyway, large organization, global organization, and we partner with with Gabriella's Worldwide Partner Group every single day to deliver great experiences to our partners and make you successful delivering great support and solutions to your customers. I thought I would start by really just talking about how things have changed. Actually, the last time I was in Toronto was 21 years ago for the launch of Windows 95. So I sit there thinking about Start Me Up in the Start menu and then seeing that HoloLens demo today. And that really puts things into perspective in terms of how things are changing and how the cloud is really transforming what we're all experiencing as consumers, as workers, but also as businesses, really driving great change in the world. And so when we think about cloud transformation, how that impacts all of us, it's about the business landscape has shifted. Success goes well beyond the actual sale of software. And then customer expectations really, they're much higher than ever before. So let me just talk a little bit about that. And this first slide is really about how the landscape has shifted. I don't think this is going to be any surprise to you. Really fewer opportunities these days to really lock in a customer forever because there's so many choices and the cost of switching is so much lower for our customers. The need for us as businesses to engage with actual business units, not just the IT departments of a particular company. The buyers are way more educated. This cloud-first procurement strategy, and there's an IDC report that came out just recently that said about 56% of all solution deals need to be cloud-first kind of optimized deals. And so this is really becoming a reality for all of us as we are delivering solutions to our customers. Success goes far beyond the sale when you really think about the changing landscape of our business, really owning the full customer lifecycle. I know many of you are part of the cloud solution provider licensing program or seriously considering that. Well, one of the agreements of our CSPs is that you really own the overall support lifecycle of that customer. And so when we think about delivering solutions, it's not just getting the deployment, but it's making sure that those customers are successful, actually using, consuming, and getting the most value possible, so that when we think about the new licensing models going forward, how we think about recurring revenue, how we think about add-on opportunities, new solutions, things like that. And then lastly, it is about customer expectations higher than ever. I mean, again, thinking about, when I was here in 95 with Windows 95, and now you think about the expectations of our very savvy customers today, millennials really driving a lot of decisions, bring your own devices into the workplace. It's just our customers really expect a lot, they know a lot, and so their expectations are very vast, broad and deep, understanding my business needs, keep me up and running, new expertise and value to the table, be fast and responsive. In the cloud world, there's just an expectation that we're delivering solutions and we're helping our customers in really rapid ways. So a lot of change in the business landscape that really puts us in a position to deliver a lot more value to our end customers across the life cycle. And so our job in the Worldwide Partner Group and in Microsoft Services is to deliver solutions for you to be able to be a great business partner for your customers. And so we can help you through that. And so today, the objective today is to talk about the support options available to Microsoft partners through the MPN program, as well as some more premium offerings to help you become a great cloud services managed service provider company. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And you're going to hear from 3 partners today around their experience with Microsoft support and how that has helped to benefit their business, but also has help them kind of enable and help grow their business in terms of new value add that they can present to their customers. So you'll hear from them for the majority of this session. Before we do that, I was going to play a little bit of a video that just summarizes our key support options for partners. And so let's roll that. Get this over here. Oh, there we go.
Microsoft support options for cloud partners. Meet Jane, a member of the Microsoft Partner Network who wants to deliver the best support possible to her customers. She wonders what options Microsoft has to help her support her customers and also enable her growing cloud business. To find out more, Jane visits the Microsoft Partner Network support website. She finds that Microsoft offers a broad set of support options, including technical services from Microsoft Partner Network, advanced support for partners, and premier support for partners. The first level of support, Microsoft Partner Network Technical Services, offers foundational support for partners who are establishing their cloud businesses. This unmanaged support option works great for Jane while her cloud business is still getting started. With Microsoft Partner Network Technical Services, Jane has access to technical pre-sales assistance, deployment services, and signature cloud support, which provides her the ability to submit technical support tickets 24/7. After a year, Jane's business grew so much that she is ready for the next level of support, advanced support for partners. This level of support from Microsoft is the entry point into managed support and was built with a cloud partner in mind. It is a great option for partners who sell and deploy cloud services and for cloud solution provider partners building their cloud businesses like Jane. With advanced support for partners, Jane gets faster response times, 1 hour or less, for her highest priority tickets. On top of that, she now has access to a team of services account managers who can help escalate issues and provide advice and guidance when needed. That's not all. Advanced support for partners helps Jane prepare for the future with proactive communications and access to an assortment of training and content recommendations. Jane's business continues to grow. She is now supporting a larger customer base and providing increasingly complex services. With Microsoft's Premier Support for Partners, she can completely customize her service plan and extend Premier support to her customers. Jane can even build Premier services into her marketing strategy, differentiating her business from competitors. Premier Support offers Jane access to Critical Situation Support, or CritSit, Microsoft's management and escalation team who work around the clock to ensure her most severe incidents are addressed quickly. Jane will also have a designated technical account manager to help address her support needs. Plus, members of Premier Support for Partners have top priority on their service requests, whether on-site or remotely, for both their business and their customers' businesses. Jane is thrilled to have flexible support options that suit her growing business and her customers. What's the right level of support for your business? Visit the Microsoft Partner Network Support website for more information.
Number one comment I get is that partners just don't realize that they have these options available to them, and that's why we've got this session today, and you're going to hear from partners who are utilizing these 3 different options in terms of how they're gaining value from that support and how they're translating that value into business and customer success. But let me just do a quick summary of what you just saw on the video. Again, 3 options, what we consider a good, better, best approach to delivering support for Microsoft partners. the MPN Technical Services, as part of the Microsoft Partner Network program, you get support. You not only get technical break-fix support, but we also have a set of advisory, or what we call pre-sales technical support, that helps you in deals, in competitive deals, and things like that. So we have a number of things related to that. It's remote. You've got the ability to cover a number of scenarios, and you got what Microsoft would consider and what the industry would consider kind of standard response, depending on the type of critical situation. Then the better option, that is advanced support for partners. We announced advanced support for partners at last year's Worldwide Partner Conference. Have about 500 partners in that program today, and so that is a little bit more there in terms of the ability, as you saw Jane evaluating on the video. You've got a team of support account managers looking after that pooled set of partners utilizing that service. All of these support account managers understand who Microsoft partners are. They understand the type of business you're in, and they are a resource to help drive escalation and get situations resolved, as well as deliver some proactive services like cloud health checks and a number of things like that. And then the best option, the best service option available for partners is Premier Support. And this is where you have a dedicated technical account manager assigned to your business. This one is optimized for complex scenarios, but also across cloud, hybrid, and you would typically see these in kind of a lot of the enterprise customer space. And they also have kind of the fastest response time, plus the critical situation or crit-sit scenario for the really complex, urgent issues. So that's really the summary of our programs, and we're going to talk about those in the context of hearing from 3 partners who will come on stage now. So I'm going to invite our 3 panelists here. I've got Bill Hull from the U.S. Licensing Group. I've got Jamie McMahon from ProServe IT, and then I've got Duncan McDonald from Navisite. And so what we'll do is we'll just hear briefly from each of them, just a brief description about their business, and then we'll go into the questions. So, Bill, I'll start with you. Why don't you just introduce yourself and just quickly what the U.S. Licensing Group does.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bill Hull, president of the U.S. Licensing Group. We are a silver competency partner based in Lake Stevens, Washington, and we focus primarily on helping SMB customers move to the cloud.
All right, Jamie, ProServe IT.
Thank you. My name is Jamie McMahon. I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing for ProServe IT. We're a system integrator and MSP here, actually based out of Toronto. We service, for the most part, SMS or corporate accounts and SMB customers, so customers sub 2,000 seats. We have a project services team that helps people design, build, and migrate to the cloud. We've got an application development team that helps people develop on the cloud, and we've got a managed services practice that helps people manage the cloud.
All right, and Duncan.
Thank you, and thank you, everybody. Duncan MacDonald. I am a product manager for managed services for Navisite. We are a company based out of Boston, Massachusetts. We are a CSP, and we primarily are focused on enterprise customers. And obviously, we're serviced by the better option from the Microsoft offering.
Okay, great. So the way we'll do this is I'll have a few questions for each of our panelists, but our goal is to also create opportunity for you to ask questions at the end. So we're going to try to save about 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so to do that. So we'll have some mics running up. Keeping in mind, if you are evaluating the Cloud Solution Provider program, for example, a great group of panelists here, how you think, how to best utilize the benefits of the support benefits of the Microsoft Partner Network program. Be thinking about that, because you've got people here who are really utilizing Microsoft services in such a way to really help advance their business. So this will be a great opportunity for you to ask those questions. So I am going to start with Bill. So again, the U.S. Licensing Group. Bill, obviously the U.S. Licensing Group does a lot of work in both the on-prem and cloud area for the SMB market in the U.S., so you probably have a lot of support questions. So can you talk a little bit about how the technical benefits provided through MPN has really helped your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that our customer experience really starts before the sale, and we really, because we are in a very competitive SMB space, we need to differentiate our offerings, and part of that is going to market with Microsoft. We leverage the pre-sales technical support quite a bit because we don't have a extensive sales force, we have limited resources, but we still have customers that have very complex demands. A lot of times we'll get customers that have compliance concerns or very granular issues, and that's the time when we leverage the Microsoft pre-sale support, because we'll get a scenario that maybe we need some guidance on or some assistance, and we'll call in and open up a case, and it's very easy to get a case started, and within a day or so we're on a call with a Microsoft expert, ourselves, and our customers, and they're getting all of their high level and even granular questions answered.
I'd be curious, any example that you could cite, just so that people can kind of get the context?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of times we'll get companies that are looking to move to SharePoint for the very first time, but they will have some concerns about moving their documents into the cloud and security around that. And so when they express those concerns, yes, we can go and evangelize that all day long, but they really want to hear it from Microsoft. You know, when it comes to the Trust Center components, they want to know that there's a expert at Microsoft that's working hand in hand with us as the partner, and those are the situations where the customers come back at the end of it and say, hey, thanks for bringing Microsoft to the table. We couldn't have had that any other way.
Great. One last thing, in terms of the moving into the cloud, we have had our signature cloud support available to MPN Silver and Gold competency partners. Can you talk a little bit about how you've used some of those resources in your business?
Absolutely. So those resources were part of the reason we became Silver partners. We wanted to get to that level because as registered or Action Pack partners, we really found that our partnership wasn't giving us the most. So we got competent at Silver. We were able to take advantage of the signature support, and we find now that when the customers come to us with scenarios that we simply can't handle, we have a resource to get them a fast answer. We're talking about situations where maybe there's been some HR challenges within the company and they're locked out of their tenant on Office 365. That's a big issue, right? So we have signature support. They can come in, help get the customer back into their account. We couldn't do that any other way.
That's great. Thank you. So again, we're just right now with Bill, we're talking about the support benefits as a program participant of the Microsoft Partner Network, what you get, what is entitled to you as just being a member of that program. Now, it depends on maybe what level you're in, Silver or Gold, you may get more or some additional value. So for example, the signature cloud support that Bill just talked about is at that Silver Gold level. Okay, so now let's kind of shift gears. Let's go to Jamie from ProServe IT, talk a little bit about maybe the experience in the cloud solution provider program. You guys have been participating in that probably since its inception. Maybe you could talk a little bit about your experience in that and how kind of your decision to use advanced support for partners as the support offering for your business.
Sure. So yeah, we were very early in CSP. I think we're one of the first globally probably to be lit up. We've been servicing customers in CSP since almost day one, very, very early into Azure as well, once Azure was added to the CSP program. So we've probably got upwards of somewhere between 80 and 100 customers that we're transacting and helping manage their business through CSP. One of the things that we found very early was that, as a CSP, the onus of support for the technology is on you, right? So when the customer goes to the tenant, if assuming that you're not providing that service for them, they're going to see your number, your email address, and you have to provide the end-to-end support for that system. And what we found, we learned this very quickly, is that we needed to provide a mechanism where we could provide kind of a tailored support offering for our customer, something that we felt that we could manage and have a very predictable end-to-end experience, so that as we have our SLAs to our customers, right? We have everyone that's in our CSP program, they are under a managed services contract with us, and we need to make sure that we had a mechanism to guarantee we can meet our SLAs to our customers. So having advanced support for partners allowed us to provide that kind of end-to-end support, and in a way that we could be sure that our customers will be taken care of.
So in advanced support for partner, has there been a particular service or services that ProServe IT has really found a lot of business impact in, something in that program that's added a lot of value?
Sure. So, I mean, you mentioned before, I think on the table there, right, the three little columns, or one of them was the account management. And one of the things there, it said, you know, you've no account management to pooled to dedicated, I think was the description. What we found in Advanced Support for Partners is we've got a basically a dedicated services account manager, Sam. So his name, that's the title. But you know, what we find is, you know, we work with them almost daily, right? We have to open up tickets with our customers or on behalf of our customers and help our customers with whatever issues they're triaging or we're triaging on their behalf. Our Sam kind of gets to know our business, right? We build a relationship with him, and we are able to, you know, effectively, you know, he understands, you know, sometimes even depending on the instance, he understands the customer's environment too. And so there's a bit of a relationship there that we don't get. We didn't find we got, you know, leveraging the NPN benefits. So we found that to be very, very impactful. The other thing about that too is, you know, while it's a person, there is a pool. And so we've had a couple instances where, you know, quite frankly, let's say there's a vacation issue or whatever, you know, there are other people that we can go to there, and we found it very responsive, so.
That's great. So again, Advanced Support for Partner, that relationship piece is a pooled set of resources who all understand Microsoft partners, okay? So they're trained in terms of the partner business, the types of things that cloud solution providers are trying to achieve with customers and delivering solutions. And so it's a great resource. And so it's pooled. I think, you know, I'm sure oftentimes people feel as if they're talking to the same person. That may actually be the case sometimes. But to have the benefit of a set of resources really looking out for the overall benefit of this group of partners in the program is really critical. All right, so let's move now to Duncan and Navisite. You have been a longtime managed service provider, focused both on kind of dedicated and hosted infrastructure. Can you talk a little bit about Navisite's journey over the past several years and kind of how your business model's changed? What's your move to the cloud been like, and what made you enroll in the CSP program?
Yes, certainly. Thank you. So, firstly, yeah, let me address the transition that Navisite's gone through. So obviously, I think this story is not unlike anybody's story in this space. So I think, you know, all of us are seeing that the adoption of cloud is happening, and it's happening pretty quickly. We're seeing that obviously, you know, on-premise hosted is yesterday. We're seeing that the decline, cloud adoption rates are really increasing, and so that's a big part of Navisite's story. We're seeing that obviously our hosted platforms, our dedicated infrastructures, they're on the decline. And you know, that's a big part of the story, and we're seeing at the same time, while they're declining, the cloud workloads are on the incline, and that obviously, you know, is a big part of a transition also to move from how we support customers. You mentioned, you know, in your introduction, that we have to also deal with a smarter customer and also a smarter buying experience. I think also when we see you know, things that have happened in the past like consumerization, we're also seeing another transition that customers don't just want a product either. You know, products by their nature are benign. People don't want a simple product. People want services at the very least, but really what they want is full solutions. People want a solution that addresses a full business need, and that's what really, you know, Navisite is about. That's what we're very good at. We provide solutions to our customers. We address business needs, and that's really a big part of where you know, our relationships with our partners come in. We realize that we can't do it all on our own. And so, you know, you have your SAM. We actually have our TAM, and Rick sitting back there, as he's just raised his hand, is our technical account manager who supports us. And Premier Support for us has been a big part of the value add that we build into our services or our experiences for our customers. That really is a building block of what we do.
Duncan, so Tim, thanks for coming. It's great to have our technical account manager here for Navisite. So you've had Premier for a while. How did you know Premier was the right service support program for Navisite?
So, obviously we look for, when we're looking at any partner, and obviously not just Microsoft, but we partner with, a lot of centers of excellence, and, we look for partners that obviously have a long tenured experience of doing what they do and doing it well. Partners have a customer-centric mentality, and partners that also have a service that fits in well with the mold of what we provide. And for Premier Support, it obviously, good, better, best. It absolutely fit within the mold and fit within the whole holistic product life cycle of what we wanted to do, and create a repeatable model across our whole product life cycle. For us, it's not just after go live, launch, support. It is a package that allows us the agility to support our customers once they've gone live. It also allows us to bring new products to market, rather. Sorry. Whether it's through training new assets, whether it's helping to bring those products to market. So there is a lot we can actually do with Premier Support beyond just supporting a customer. So those are the reasons.
That's great. Yeah, obviously, Premier Support brings so much to the table. It's not just the reactive piece, but it's also a lot of kind of the proactive, the guidance, and the ability to integrate some of the Premier services in terms of how you go to market to your customers and having them be able to take advantage of a lot of those services. So before we open it up to questions from the audience, I think what I'll do is just ask one last question to each of you. As you think about your support experience kind of working with Microsoft, any sort of tips to the audience, any sort of kind of a best practice that you would want to share as it relates to utilizing some of these benefits? So Bill, I'll come back to you and go from there.
Yeah, I think that part of, the whole point of being here at WPC is to go back to the office with hidden gems and things that you can implement right away. That's part of why we come year after year. And really what we find is that if you don't take advantage of the benefits that you already have, then you're not coming to your customer with your full set of tools. So if you're not taking advantage of your internal use rights, if you're not taking advantage of your pre-sales support opportunities to really, come to the table with your full set of Microsoft resources, then you're wasting part of your membership. Make sure that you're implementing those things. Make sure that you're staying on top of the changes that are going on within MPN. Go back to the office and let everybody else know, hey, we have these resources available. Let's put them to good use.
That's great. That's great. Jamie, how about you?
Yeah, and I think for me, I'd echo that absolutely, because we leverage the MPN benefits quite a bit as well to augment our advanced support partners. One of the things that I would say is that just make sure you have a plan from the support side of things, right? You need a way to differentiate yourself, and it's a pretty crowded market, right? I think a lot of us do a lot of the same things, and we get the same things around. If you go to your website and your website, what's different. So I hear that consistently. What we found with advanced support partners is that we can build solutions, and deliver those to our customers, but we have that kind of end-to-end model, right? And so as you're going to market and as you're thinking about how you're going to deliver solutions for your customers, how you're going to build solutions and market them, I find that, I guess my guidance is, just look at the whole end-to-end system, make sure you can support it, make sure that you have the right support system in place, whether that's MPN, Advanced Support Partners, or Premier.
Duncan, any last final tip?
Yeah, the one thing I was saying, listening to the other panelists, is that it's not just Premier Support; it's the other options. Not just the best, but the good, better, best, and obviously Premier Support, the premium packages, what works for Navisite or for Chart Communications. But you know, you guys have to look at what your market is. You have to look at your competitive lens, and you have to see what differentiates yourself from your competitors. It may not be this. It may not be better. It may not be good. But I believe it will be one of them. So, but that would be my advice.
Great. Okay, so we're going to open up the floor to anybody here. We have a couple microphones. Inez Vargas, as well as Marcelo Bellonasso, are here to pass the mic and ask any questions. So we have one over here. So go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, if you look at Premier from an enterprise customer perspective, they'll buy proactive and reactive support time. The reactive support includes ROS engineer support if there's a big problem with SQL Server, for example. How does that kind of capability be included or not included in the advanced support program for partners? How do we understand the difference? Do we buy it for a customer, license it, or sell it to them the same way Premier would be sold to an enterprise customer?
So you want me?
You can take it, and then we'll fill in.
So,
I want to hear from you.
I don't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah, no.
But so it's a choice. You know, we buy a package that is our Premier support, and I think it's a choice how you want to package that up into your solutions. Do you want to, as a service provider, bundle that into your solution as part of your solution, or do you want to sell those hours on, which Premier Support allows you to do, obviously? So I think you have to make that choice as a solution provider when you're doing the creative work of creating a solution, looking at the competitors, looking at that competitive lens, and saying, okay, are we going to sell these proactive, reactive, whichever it may be, hours back, or are we going to bundle that in? Are we going to make it a holistic package? Now, for me, I think it's a lot more powerful a sales message at least, to bundle that in as one story, to say, you know what, we as a company provide this as part of our core offering. That's what we do. I think a powerful message.
So can you use your proactive time to do a cloud readiness review for the customer, and that the Premier person gets engaged with your end user, or is it a service offering only to you?
So we don't actually. That's more of a individual case basis. We use, so what we actually do is we have Premier Support for us is more like the our tier 1, our tier 2 is our front line, so that's our own support, and then Premier Support is the if you will, and we use that as our tier 3 sort of escalation. If we're not able to provide support, or the customer requests to bring in the cavalry, then we do that, and that's kind of how we structure support. It's very effective. It's very effective as a selling aid, and it tells a very compelling story too.
Yeah, this gentleman brought up a really good question that is a big differentiator between the programs, especially at the Premier level. One is, at the Premier level, I mean, we're talking about contracts that's an annual contract that would start at $28,000 and then on up, but it's very kind of custom what you need as a business to deliver great results. And so in the particular case of Navisite, they've kind of figured out how they use some of the options available to, okay, are we going to deliver, are those just going to be delivered to us? Or maybe in scenarios there would be what we kind of call a through Navisite to end customer and utilize those benefits. In advanced support for partners, is going to be a little bit more programmatic directly to the actual partner. So that would be a big differentiator there. It's also another thing we really didn't talk about is the pricing, how pricing works. So MPN, the MPN benefits, those are benefits of MPN, pretty basic. You're part of that program. You've paid enrollment fees and things like that. Advanced support for partner is a monthly subscription of about, at least in the US, $1,250 a month for advanced support per partner. And then, as I mentioned, Premier is an annual contract starting at $28,000, then on up, depending on the different available to you. So some different pricing options as well available. So, but it's a great question, because that is the through you, or what we'd call the through partner scenario, directly to customer, having the TAM working directly with customer, with the partner, is a big differentiator of the Premier service. Other questions? Right here. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
So I just want to confirm my understanding regarding how the advanced support for partners relates to what we already have as part of NPN, and that some of these things are actually additive. The reason why I asked that in the table that you put up on the screen.
Yeah, I'll get that back too. Go, keep going.
Yeah, the deployment's covered. I noticed that on-premises is obviously in there with the NPN, but it's not listed there under advanced support for partners. So if we have a situation where we're moving, we're working with a client and we have an on-premise need or support need for an on-premise deployment, would we still be able to use what we have at normal, or would have?
Yeah. So obviously, if you and these things just build on top of each other. So you would, okay, I have some on-premise,
So nothing's being
benefit.
lost.
Yeah, exactly. There are scenarios, I suppose, where there are partners using this who don't have that. That would be that. Have you been in that scenario?
And it kind of coattails on the last question as well. It really depends on what your customer experience you want to create. So, you could start down at just the MPN benefit level, but then as you evolve your business and discover that you want to have much more timely engagement with the customer, or whatever the case may be, that's when you need to start evaluating those higher tiers.
I'll just add one last thing on the advanced support partner side. So we've been in scenarios where there is stuff that you do cloud, right? And some of that stuff is kind of on-prem. And so, we've been in situations where, okay, great, we try to navigate and say, where's the right place to go for support? And, we reach out to advanced support partners. Oh, no, it's on-prem. Okay, great. Now we just readjust and go that route. But, some of the times they'll need to look at it and say, okay, if it's a OneDrive issue, maybe, there's a client issue and we need to help with that. So they will work with you and figure, and that's, on the SAM side, that's what they'll do. They'll help you say, oh, no, yeah, we can help with this, or no, we can't. So
There are a few scenarios, too, where, it's like, is it on-prem or is it cloud? I mean, like, SQL Server, Active, there's a bunch of scenarios. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt, to work through. Really great question. Thank you. We have a question right down in the front here.
Yeah. As a partner, you're really in the middle between Microsoft and your own end customers. Now, what I'm wondering is how these interactions happen. How do you interact one-on-one with Microsoft, and then you one-on-one with all your different customers? I assume you handle the ticketing system, or customers can call you directly. But how does the interaction work with the support of Microsoft? Do you just need to call them? Is the partner center helping you, or gluing the customer cases towards your Microsoft support needs? How does that work, kind of?
Yeah, so
You want me to ask?
All right, so
We can ask. Yeah, as part of CSP in particular, the partner center capability is the thing that really kind of manages the tickets. You would submit those tickets. There's actually scenarios in which if one of your customers of the CSP program actually goes to Microsoft to submit an incident, it actually will refer them to you. Now, the question being, and I've talked with a lot of partners who are saying, there's some scenarios I'd actually wouldn't mind having my customers also have a support relationship with you. So, we'll kind of figure those things out over time. But yeah, as part of CSP, it's kind of hardwired into the Partner Center capability. That's where you go submit incidents. Partner Center is the thing that really creates the linkage between you, partner, and your end customers who are utilizing the benefits of those services. So that's how that would work. Yep. Do we have one right here?
I just had a question.
Yeah.
So I want to shift gears here a little bit and be very specific on Dynamic CRM OL. So one of the points for Dynamic CRM OL is since it's on the cloud, you got to also set about 100 seats and then provide support. So I want to go back to Bill, who said pre-sale support. So how does, as a partner, how do I get pre-sale support for collaterals or any kind of thing?
Sure, absolutely. So great question. Anytime you have an opportunity where some pre-sale support, What you can do as a partner is reach out. Every region has a group of technical specialists, and depending on whether it's CRM Online or SQL Server or Azure, whatever the case may be, if you need to pull in a technical specialist to help you work that deal or to help to the customer, you just generate a case. You go out to the alias for your particular region and initiate that request, and usually within a day or so you can set up a time. An engineer will reach out to you, set up a case, and then schedule a call with the customer. The nice thing about that process is through you. You are the point of contact for both Microsoft and the customer. Microsoft will not engage with the customer directly unless that's something you request, but most of the time it's going to be going through you. The best part of that scenario is, as you and your team are on that call, you're learning all the best practices from Microsoft. So you get that CRM Online request, you may not need that pre-sales engineer. You might get all the best practices, and you can, train your own staff through there. That's a kind of a side effect of taking advantage of that pre-sale support, is you learn a lot about the Microsoft stack.
Put it in context, we have about 300 of those engineers across the globe, and so a great benefit to Microsoft partners. And I would say, beyond the break-fix technical support that we do provide in the scenarios in which you need it, probably that resource in particular viewed as the most highly valued resource that Microsoft can provide to our partners. In fact, we've done some studies in terms of kind of Microsoft satisfaction of partners, and partners who use that particular service, the pre-sales technical, are 14 points more satisfied with Microsoft as a partnering company than those who are not using that particular benefit. Really fantastic benefit. In fact, several of our managers of those teams are sitting here in the back and can answer any questions after the
I would just add that it also helps us close deals quicker.
Yeah, that's great. Great. Question back there somewhere? Oh, over there. Yeah, thank you.
So extension of the question that our friend asked, in many large-scale transformation opportunities where, and we are into telco software business, meaning providing the software to the operators, telco operators around the world. In the opportunity stage, when we are engaging the customer, because these are large transformation opportunities, anywhere between, say, $25 million, it's very difficult for us as an ISV to win on our own, right? We also need local, strong Microsoft people to come and chip in, because often we are being compared against Oracle or Salesforce or other CRM platform altogether. In some of the cases, what has worked for me is going back to the account manager as opposed to support, taking a support path, but going back to the account manager, finding a local, regional sales support from Microsoft. I don't know if that is the right model or if this is
Absolutely a model.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I would obviously, the more relationships you can create at the local level, it's just more resources they have to bear to help bring success. And certainly in the kind of some of these large cases that you're talking about, I'm sure they will be very open to it.
so I had some more, but sure, go ahead, please.
Yeah, if I can. There is, I don't know if my mic, there we go.
Yeah.
They're also, we're telco too, right? Charter communications. So there absolutely is no substitute for developing your product and developing your around it. You have to develop a strong story around your product and sell against that. And that's really, yes, develop the relationships. You need obviously a technical account manager. Get intimate with your account executive, but you need a strong story and you need to sell to it, and it has to be an effective one too. There's just no substitute.
Sure, thank you. I think that was comment and question both, the previous one. The second one is around roadmap. So what happens is we are using the Microsoft CRM as a framework on top of which we have built a customization layer towards supporting telco operators, right? So when you're providing billing, charging, product catalog, order management, all integrated with CRM. Now, what happens is if we know what Microsoft, let's say for the next 1 year, for CRM, we can find synergies in terms of where our investment is going to be. What has been hard until now is getting that roadmap view. What are the possible options to get that roadmap view of which areas Microsoft is going to be in CRM, so that we can optimize on the investment as well?
Yeah,
I can give you an example in this one,
yeah.
just a minor one, is a product catalog. So, and I think in 2015 release and 16 release, there were investment in the product catalog within CRM itself. Because we were not aware, we were also building our own product catalog. The two implementations sort of became contradictory, right? And then you have to go and rewrite, or because fundamentally they're contradictory in terms of implementation. So how do we get this roadmap view of a product using our partnership as both MPN and ASFPA?
I think it's a good question. I think as you take advantage of these types of support options, these will not be the source of the roadmap. But absolutely, you need to have the expectation that if you're an advanced support for partner and you're working with your SAM, your service account managers, or you're in Premier working with technical account managers, that would be an expectation that I would have, is that those resources understand the roadmap and we're working with the product groups more closely to deliver that to you. We won't become the actual source. I mean, ultimately the product teams would do that. But if you are a customer of those two plans in particular, you would have the account relationship that would help to deliver some of those things more proactively. So it's not a complete answer, because the product groups really do own the overall roadmap. But because now you have a service and support account relationship, that would absolutely be an expectation that you should have with them to help make sure we're as proactive as possible delivering that to you.
One thing I can say too, just on
Yeah,
the advanced
please.
partner side. So, navigating the Microsoft ecosystem is tough, right? There's, you need like a PhD in it sometimes. But on the advanced partner side, there's a number of ways you can actually do that. So there's actually a Yammer group, and in that Yammer group for advanced partner, they actually distribute training material monthly, right, that you can then share with your team. But on top of that, there's also roadmap sessions, regular roadmap sessions for Office 365, for Azure. And so, there is a regular cadence. And so for us, we've got 3 different business units within our company, right? We've got our project team, which does the cloud. We've got our software development team, and we've got our managed services team. And so what we do is we say, okay, great, we've got different practices within our business. We're going to share, and there are CRM training initiatives inside that bucket, and we share that with the teams and say, okay, great. And then the managers of the different practices then have to schedule that training with the team. So we get that digest once a month.
Right.
Thank you. That's an awesome feedback. Actually, I had a question for you, more on the managed services side. Sorry if I'm taking more time.
Yeah,
just the last one.
This is it.
I think, so in case with support, what happens is, because we are right in the middle of Microsoft and the customer, usually when there's a problem, we get engaged first, because we have to do root cause analysis, we have to find where the problem is. Now, in cases where the problem is on the Microsoft side, as in the software, while we do get fixes, what is difficult to get is a root cause analysis. I don't know in your case if shared analysis with the customer is a part of the agreement, but in telco space, if you don't share a root cause analysis, it is unacceptable for the operator. Have you ever been into this situation where you have to provide a root cause analysis and you need some support from Microsoft?
Yeah. So I mean, it's there's lots of areas to go there. I mean, so in the cloud, right? There's nothing like 100% uptime doesn't necessarily always exist, right? So it's always something 99.9 something, like 5 nines, 4 nines, 3, whatever the number is. And so what we found is that, and actually, so I won't know how this happens. So I know that I've seen what some of my team has done in sending to our customers, because the root cause analysis is important, because the first question our customers ask is, how are you going to make sure this doesn't happen again, right? So we've had instances where we've got to work with a customer, we've got to go, and I don't know where my team goes to get it, but I know they go get it. I've seen the digest to say, okay, great, there was a service issue with XYZ service, it was related to XYZ thing, there was an update, there was something, and then we then share that it becomes part of our ticket, and that becomes part of our knowledge base as well. So,
All right, one last question right up front.
Yeah, hi there. I'm from the Dynamics world, Dynamics AX and CRM world. So A bit of a confusion both with our customers and also within the partner network at the moment in terms of when you spin up IX environments, it's through the LCS backbone. And as part of their software assurance, etc., they're able to raise tickets directly on Microsoft and get incident support. And it appears on the face of it that is actually bypassing the partner network, that approach. And I wonder whether that conflict, whether that is the true situation or whether that conflict's going to be closed down at some point.
Yeah, we will continue to really bring those experiences together. I mean, especially as we talk about CSP and managed service providers, it kind of started in Office. We built a lot of capability. Then that started to get integrated into CRM Online and Azure. And then we've got AS coming. So you should see that from a partner experience perspective or a customer who's working with partner experience will continue to improve and get more consistent across those. I don't know the specific answer to your question, but philosophically, that's the direction that we will take as a company to bring that. Okay, so hey, how about a round of applause for our panelists? Thank you very much.
Good job.
Let me just, let me just close this out by just talking about what's next. We the surface on these programs, so this is where you can learn more if you went to the MPN site, the partner support, as well as if you do have any specific questions. I put this alias here, partnersupport@microsoft.com. Again, we are here to make you successful and ultimately together to bring customer success to the businesses and the consumers out there that we are all collectively working with. We will continue to innovate in this particular area. This is not just about a phone call to somebody to drive escalation. There's digital transformation happening in this area as well in terms of capabilities that we can deliver to deliver better cloud health checks. Things like tooling that we can put into Azure or AX to make you a better managed service provider to your customers. And so there's a lot of innovation. And so any feedback that you might have in terms of when you think about Microsoft supporting you, what that definition is, where we would love to hear more about it. There are a few sessions that you may want to attend related to CSP, some best practices, the licensing, how the licensing works with CSP, demystifying the cloud solution provider program. All of these to make you successful being a managed service provider, really helping to create your own value and differentiation in the cloud and how service and support can add value to you. So with that, I would just like to thank everybody for coming today to our session, and I hope you have a fantastic Worldwide Partner Conference. Thank you very much.